They talk about flexing your wifey muscles. It's really a thing. It's one of those things where if you know, you know, right? I know that just sounded so cheesy, but it's the truth of it. Hello, hello. I am so glad you're here. Welcome back to my channel. It is a very exciting time around this place, around this house, around this channel. It's just a lot of excitement going on because we are going on vacation this week. And that's exactly, as you can tell by the title of this video, what we're going to be prepping for today. So it is actually Monday. We don't leave for vacation until like midnight Thursday. Or I never know how to say that. We don't actually leave for vacation until like 1 a.m. on Thursday. But I don't know about you, but whenever we travel somewhere, whether it is to the beach like this trip or 15 minutes down the road with small children, it is a task. You got a lot of stuff to take, a lot of stuff to pack, a lot of food to prep, and listen, everybody doesn't do things the same way. I get it, but that's how we do it, or that's how I do it. And so today we're going to get a good start on that. Hopefully we can do a little bit over the next few days, and then that way it won't all be so overwhelming at one time on Wednesday evening. I am working this week. I work half day at my daughter's little preschool, so I'm working. I have the afternoons and evenings to get all of our stuff packed, prepped, all that. My husband is working full days until we leave, so he'll basically come home in the evening and eat supper, help get the girls to bed, and then hopefully he can help with packing some of his stuff. And then obviously as we get ready to load everything, he'll help with that. But for the most part, I'm trying to take care of it so that he doesn't have to worry about that, obviously. Today we're going to be working on some kitchen things, which I'm really excited about because the last few weeks have just been such a whirlwind for us that I've not been able to be in the kitchen as much as I would like. And so I'm really excited to be back to that. I just love it. I'm not someone who enjoys the kitchen necessarily, but I love being able to like tangibly see that I'm caring for my family and the people around me, if that makes sense. There's not a lot of ways that we can really see like a task come to completion and then also the benefits of it. But in the kitchen, cooking, serving meals, taking care of nurturing the bodies and the souls around us, I feel like that's one of the few things as a homemaker, as a mom, that you can really see happening each day. And you know, not that it's always super well received or everybody's favorite, but it's something that like we can say, okay, check that, we accomplished it, we did it, and you know, they didn't go unfed. So anyway, so today we're going to start with a little process that I started back in the fall whenever we got hit really hard with like 7 straight weeks of back to school germs and every virus that was going around. It felt like we got it. We were at the doctor's office sometimes twice each week, and I was just done. I was like, this is for the birds. This is not okay. What can I do to help my family feel better without us having to be on medication all the time? Like, there was just a lot of things that I started looking into, and that you can really go down some rabbit holes. Like, let's be real. So I'm not going to get into all that, but because I'm not an expert. But these are some things that I started implementing for us, and they seem to be effective. And it's not the first time that I've done some of these things. Some of these things it is, but I just wanted to get back into the rhythm of doing it because I never knew this before helping teach at a school. But now that I'm in the preschool setting, apparently there's like May, end of school year germs too. I mean, there's germs all the time, right? But I thought that it was like flu season is like fall, October, and then March. And like whenever I worked in healthcare, that was when you had to wear a mask if you didn't get the flu vaccine. You were required to wear a mask from October to March. So here we are in May. I thought we were done and it was maybe just allergies or pollen, but no, y'all. There are so many stomach bugs going around. There's like the croup, the crud, the everything. So we are going to make some electrolyte juice. We're going to make some homemade elderberry syrup, and I'm going to make a loaf of Dutch oven bread. So those are the 3 things that we're working on today while my girls nap. I don't know how much longer Annie is going to nap for us, but she can just join in on the fun when she wakes up. But I'll explain them a little bit more as we go. I'll go into some more detail about each of them. I do not claim to be an expert on these things. I am no scientist. I don't know there's a lot that I don't know about the human body and how ingredients interact with that and all these things. But these, like I said, these are the things that work for us. They may not be cure-alls, but they have certainly improved our energy levels, our immune systems, and just our overall health, in my opinion. And I would much rather be able to do things ourselves with natural ingredients than have to rely on medicine, have to rely on doctor's offices. Like, all those things cost a whole lot more money than this does. So these are the things that I like to start with as our baseline, and then as we have more serious conditions or symptoms arise, then we go elsewhere. But I like being able to hopefully keep good nourishment in our own home. So that's what we're starting with today. I will probably take this juice on vacation with us. Rosie, let me just go ahead and tell you, Rosie really only drinks juice. I know her teeth are gonna fall out, but they're baby's teeth. All baby teeth fall out, right? Anyways, I'm trying to get better about that, and she just will not do milk now. She has no interest in it, and honestly, I don't push it because of what milk is these days, and we don't have easy access to raw dairy. Plus, if we did, the price of it, I just would still probably only want her to do 1 or 2 cups of it a day. But yeah, so I'm looking into all of that, but right now I'm trying really hard to get her to drink water, and a lot of the time she does in the mornings at school, and then she just does like very diluted juice the rest of the day. So judge me if you want, but I at least feel better about it whenever it's homemade juice, and I know that it's healthy ingredients. It's not a ton of sugar, it's not colored dyes. Listen, we all have our battles, right? We all have our battles, and this may be one that I pay for later on, but right now this is what we're doing. And then so she goes through it very quickly. So I'm hoping that we will have enough to take it on vacation with us, and then we can just do that and water for her. And Nicholas and I really don't even drink it that much. It's mostly for her. But if we're feeling depleted or something like that, then it is something that we can, I just heard Annie, but it is something that we can, drink a little cup of, and it'll, help to reset some things, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't love the taste of it, but she seems to like it just fine. And then elderberry is good for 3 months from the day that it is made. So I will probably take some on vacation, just in a small jar, but that'll last us way longer than just vacation. So that's not necessarily vacation prep. And then the bread I'm making for us to eat tonight, but we usually don't finish it in the next few days. And we're going on vacation with my family, who they are like major bread eaters. I grew up in a home, I'm sorry, this is getting so chatty, and people probably are like, Megan, hush and move on. But, oh well. But I grew up in a family where you did not have to have meat with your supper, but you had to have bread. Like, that was our non-negotiable. Nicholas is the other way around. He's like, no, I have to have meat. I could care less about bread. So since we're going on vacation with my family, if we don't get through this whole loaf of bread in the next couple of days, it should still be good whenever we see them, and I'm sure by the time we get there, it'll already be gone. I have a lot of laundry going on. I've been working on it all weekend, still working on it before I can get to packing bags. And then tomorrow we'll do a grocery pickup, and I'll show you the haul from that. Wednesday we'll go ahead and prep all the road trip snacks and make some breads and things that we can take on the road, and then also to have in our like condo Airbnb room, VRBO, I don't even know what it is, but in our like suite for snacking, for dinners, for breakfast, for things like that. So I'm hoping to be able to do a lot of work on the front end here. That way when we get there, we really can just relax, not have to spend a whole ton of money, not have to stop a lot on the drive down and back because we, don't have food. So this is the goal. I'm trying to just take baby steps, right? Just a little bit at a time. Okay, so I'm going to start with getting the yeast ready for the bread that we're going to be baking, because it has to sit for like 5 minutes with warm water, yeast, and salt, just to kind of let the yeast get bubbly. And then after it bubbles, we can add it to the flour and then let it sit for like 2 to 3 hours. So we're going to start out with that. I just do 1.5 cups water and then 1/2 tablespoon of salt and 2.25 teaspoons of yeast. And this is a no-knead recipe, which is why I love it so much. The exterior of the crust does get a little bit tougher because of that, but it's still delicious, especially when it's eaten straight out of the oven, which is what I hope to do with the girls, with Rosie, whenever she wakes up from her nap. So we'll just let that sit for about 5 minutes, and I can never remember these things off the top of my head, so I keep index cards on the side of our fridge with our like go-to recipes. So while that is happening, I'm gonna go ahead and I will cut up the fruits for our juice. So this homemade electrolyte juice, I will link the recipe below. I basically just, sometimes I use a variation of like the number of lemons, the number of oranges. One time I added in a mango, and then usually I just stick to the 1 lime because that's not really the sweet, which lemon juice isn't really sweet, but I don't know, it's just not quite as enjoyable when I think about it. But I typically stick pretty closely to that recipe, and this is just something that, it's like Gatorade, but it has so much less of the added sugars, so it's just so much better in a lot of ways. I know that it's like I could probably find cleaner produce, but for where I'm at in life right now, the season that we're in, this is the, like, I'm doing my best, you know, and this is the best that I have. So the oranges I hand squeeze. I know that there are tools for this, there are machines for this, but I just use what I got, and that's my hands. And it always reveals to me how many cuticles I have and how terrible of shape my fingernails are, because they burn. Oh my goodness, do they burn. But that's all right. It's all for the love of the people around me, right? So I do 2 oranges. I see a hair. So I do 2 oranges and then 2 lemons, 1 lime, and a little bit, usually like 1 inch of ginger root. And that's kind of what goes into this part of the process. Now this juicer I did get from Hobby Lobby. It was like part of their spring shop this year, so I use it for the smaller citrus fruits, but the oranges are too big to fit in here, and I could get smaller oranges, but I like the oranges to have the overpowering taste out of all these juices, and I just don't feel like cutting and slicing more. Honestly, there's just a convenience factor when it comes to the larger ones.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight.
And then we'll pour that out, and that saves a lot of the seeds for compost. I have yet to have a lemon or a lime tree grow from my compost bin, but maybe one day. Like I said, I only need about an inch. So I use this because there is a good bit here. And then very carefully, I read this somewhere one time, and this is just kind of how I do it. You just take the handle of your knife and you roll it to smush it, and that helps to extract a lot more of the goodness while it's boiling than if it was just chopped up. The talk about flexing your wifey muscles. It's really a thing.
So slow, hold you in my arms.
Alright. So then you just throw it in there, because at the end we're going to strain it with cheesecloth, and it's really not even going to be known that those particles were in there. And then go ahead, and I use 2 of the CTO coconut waters. You can, whenever I first started doing this, I just used 1, and then in order to make it a full pitcher, I would add like filtered water to it, and it worked out fine. I just honestly, like, if I was going to be drinking it, if Nicholas was going to be drinking it more, I would probably just do that. But I just started realizing, like, you know, Rosie would probably enjoy it being a little bit sweeter, because what kid doesn't like sweets? And also, it's not going to hurt her to have more electrolytes. So this is where a lot of those come in at, from my understanding. So I just started doing 2, and that way, even if we wanted like 2 pitchers of it, I could still add water and then have double the amount. Obviously I would double the amount of fruits as well. But now, so this is going to go to the stove, and it's going to be brought to a boil. And once it hits a boil, I will add a little bit. I'll put the exact ingredients on here. I'll have to look. Honestly, I don't use the ingredient measurements. I just kind of do like a dollop of this, a dollop of that. But I put like a little bit of salt in there and a little bit of baking soda, and then it kind of makes it fizz up. Again, I don't know the science behind it. That's just what they told me to do, so that's what I do. That's added and it rises and falls. Then I'll lower it to a simmer for 45 minutes. So now we're going to put this on the stove, and I'll let you see more of that process. Okay, so the bread was a little bit more dry than what it usually is, but I added like a half a cup more water, and then it was quite doughy. So I'm using whole wheat flour today because that's what I had in my jar. I go back and forth between white and whole wheat, and today it was whole wheat, so that may be the reason that it was more dry, but I'm hoping that it still rises okay. The yeast got pretty bubbly. Usually if it doesn't bubble, then that is a sign that your yeast is expired or no longer active. So I don't know if you can hear this juice, but it is sizzling right now. So we're getting close to a boil, and we'll add in the other ingredients to really make it pop, and then put it back down to simmer for a while. But right now we're going to work on some of the elderberry syrup. So elderberries, it's one of those things where if you know, you know, right? So I have been doing elderberry very sporadically for like 5 or 6 years now. Whenever Nicholas and I first got married, we lived in the basement. We rented a basement from an older couple in our church, and they were so precious and kind and generous. Just so many amazing things that we learned from them, and you know, what a blessing that we got to start out our marriage watching theirs. Like, it was just such a cool thing. It was like our home away from our parents' homes, because we didn't live near the homes where we grew up. So it was just such a blessing from the Lord that we got to live there. But before we got married, the sweet lady that we were renting from, the wife, she said there was a lot of flu and all kinds of things going around, and she came to me and she was like, I made this for you. Take a tablespoon each day. You won't get sick for your wedding. Like, I won't let it happen. And she was right. Like, I did not get sick. It proved to be effective for me and for my immune system, and I know that elderberry has become more popular in recent years, but I do still think that there are a lot of things added to store-bought elderberry syrup, and you know, maybe store-bought is still better than none. I don't really know, but if you have the chance, I would really recommend making your own. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients. It's not hard. It just is something that you kind of have to look for. I'll link below where I get my berries from, because you do want to make sure that they're coming from a good source. This is the one that Sweet Miss Patty, the lady we rented from, this is the one that she has always used, and that's the one that she recommended to me. So I fully trust it from her word, but I recognize not everybody knows her. So so if you want to do your own research and find somewhere else, that's fine too, but I'll link this one below. I also wanted to mention that I completely forgot, I'm going to make no-bake protein balls as well. I have not been making them for about the past year in part of our regular, like, homemade things routine. So I completely forgot about those, but Rosie used to call them cookies, and she has always loved them. The last time that I made them, she wasn't quite so sure, but I'm hoping that I can make some of those and have them for snacks on the road trip as well. Now we're boiling, and Annie is waking up, so she'll probably be out here with me soon, but we're gonna go ahead and get this juice to where it needs to be in order for it to sit for a little bit. I feel like the steam is just taking over my camera lens right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some elderberry syrup started. The first thing that we need to do is just add in all of the ingredients minus the honey. And I'm using store-bought honey. I would love to use local raw honey, but I've just not been able to find that recently. I know it's around here. I just honestly haven't made the time to find it or to go get it. So you add in the honey after all of the boiling is done, because you don't want to burn out all of the good enzymes. However, if you are giving this to a baby under the age of 1, don't put honey in it, because their bellies can't process those enzymes like an adult or a bigger child. So it causes a lot of stomach upset. I don't know this from experience. It's just everything that I've seen, all that I've read says don't put honey in a baby's belly. I used to make separate batches. I would make one for Annie that didn't have honey, and then some for us that did. But now she's going to be 1 in like a week and a half. How crazy is that? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put honey in all of it, and she will be fine. Your snotty nose. You need to wipe it. Bah. Okay. So we are out of cinnamon. I have some cinnamon sticks, which is what the elderberry syrup calls for, but I don't have ground cinnamon, and my granny actually lives on the back of our property, so I called her to see if she had any. She did not, but she's currently out at the store, so she's going to get me some before she comes home. So I'm just going to let this sit for a while, and then we have elderberry boiling. And now that it's boiling, I need to check my recipe, but I'm pretty sure that I just reduce it to a simmer for just like the juice, about 45 minutes. So that's where we're at. Gonna work on some laundry now that Annie's up. The washing machine is right up against the wall that backs up to her bedroom, so I can't do a lot of laundry while she sleeps, but now that she's up, we're gonna get to that. What'd you find, Annie? I found Sister's snack cook. This girl has a way of finding things that she can cook on. I guess all babies do, but Rosie never really did that. Oh, you gonna share? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. More. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Where'd baby go? She's over here. Yeah. She was over here.
Maybe our lives were not meant to collide from the start, but who could foresee the fall? Maybe it's time to decide what to do with the fact that it happens to us all. From time to time it all comes around, and no one knows the end. We're all building bridges slowly, tearing them down fast to start over. We're all trying to come over, memories of the past to start over. The
So today we are working on tidying up the house. It is day 2. We are getting closer to vacation. Rosie is about to knock her door down. She's recently learned how to turn doorknobs, and so she's been coming to our room at like 3 a.m. and I'm not totally sure why she's knocking on it right now. Probably because she knows she's supposed to be taking a nap or having quiet time. BRB. So back to what I was saying. We are working on tidying up the house. So what I'm working on, I've gotten some more of the girls' bags packed. They're not perfect, but we're making progress. I need to strip the beds, put new sheets on them, wash those dirty, wash the dirty sheets, and then like I need to switch out the shower curtain liner and really just work on packing. That's the main thing. There's so many things and I just don't know how we're gonna fit it all. I really don't. But yeah, and then there was something else. I need to eat. I have leftover ravioli sitting in the microwave beeping at me. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, I need to try on some of the outfits that I would like to wear while we're on our trip so that I don't just take a ton of stuff that won't be needed. And then I still feel like there's more that I was thinking I needed to do, but now it's just all left me, so maybe I just need to eat first.
Stay alive to prevent all the chaos, but happiness can't wait. And maybe it all would come clear if we knew how to act for each other's sake. From time to time it all comes around, but no one knows the end. We're all building bridges slowly, tearing them down fast to start over. We're all trying to come over memories of the past and start over. We're all building bridges slowly, tearing them down fast to start over. We're all trying to come over memories of the past and start over. The past won't start over.
Alright, so we have mine and Nicholas's bag packed of clothes and hats and like our swim stuff and everything, and then these are the girls. This is Annie's side. She still needs a couple of things, but I think Rosie's is good. I'm only going to be there 3 nights, 4 days, so I have pajamas. I could probably use another pair of pajamas for each of them, and then a few nice outfits, several comfy outfits. I tried to do like 4 of each, 4 comfies, 4 nice. So Annie still needs a little bit more, and then each of them have 3 or 4 swimsuits. I really don't think that we will be at the beach all that much because we may do 1 beach day, but it'll probably still be pretty abbreviated. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Annie is actually napping pretty well today, and I think I'm going to go take a really good shower because yeah, it's just not often that you get to take a nice relaxed long shower. And then when I get out, I'll kind of see where the girls are at, and we have some laundry still going. The only thing that I have left to wash for our trip are some shoes, and otherwise I'm pretty sure we're good. Yeah, I just feel like I'm forgetting stuff, but I think it's probably because I'm like nowhere near even like halfway done. Like the clothes are just the easy part. Everything else that needs to go into this. So Nicholas is going by his parents on the way home this evening, hopefully, to pick up some things. They're letting us borrow a pop-up tent for the beach, and I don't even know it all. Some stuff that's going to be really useful. And then he's also getting our grocery pickup order on the way home. So we're hopeful that he gets off tonight at the right time. Ugh, there's a baby. Okay, I gotta go. See ya.
The past won't start over.
Okay, so just got out of the shower. Put away some clothes, but I ran out of hangers. And then I realized, look at my poor piece Lily. She needs some water. She's real thirsty. I was thinking earlier, I honestly don't even remember the last time I sat down in our living room. I feel like I just spend all my time in and out of the girls' rooms and in the kitchen and in our bedroom. And so yeah, oh gosh. I feel like this is all very like bleh, because I really don't feel like doing all this today. But I know that if I didn't have all this to do, I would just fill my time with something else. I don't sit down and like watch TV or anything. If I sit down, I stop. If I sit down, I fall asleep. That's not an option in the afternoon. Goodness. Annie sounds awful still. But yeah, we're gonna go let the girls out and then see what else we can get done. So we have our groceries, and I'm going to go through and explain a little bit of what they all are going to be used for. It's Tuesday night, so tomorrow afternoon I'll prep a lot of this stuff, and this includes snacks for the ride down there as well as while we're there. Kids snacks, adult snacks, some possibly like breakfast items, and then one night's dinner. So I went ahead and got as much as I could. I didn't want to get anything frozen. Like, I'll have a cooler with ice in it to hold stuff on the way down there, but I didn't want to get stuff that was going to need to be kept like super cold, and then it would just spoil by the time we got there. It's about a 6.5 hour drive, so I think we should be fine with the cold stuff. We may just need to refill ice when we get there, because we're actually getting there several hours before our allowed check-in time to where we're staying. We just wanted to, because it's just like a 4-day trip, We wanted to get the most out of our time there, so we're, you know, gonna spend the day out on the beach and stuff before we're able to actually check in. But here's what we got. Okay, so we have bananas, and I got some chickpeas, just some canned chickpeas. I'm gonna bake those, season them and bake them, and then it'll just be like crunchy little road snacks. I want to make some smoothies, some strawberry smoothies to have with us. We're going to be leaving out very early in the morning, so we can kind of snack on that when we leave or as we want breakfast on the road, and we'll reduce a stop there hopefully. Got some Oreos, because what kind of road trip is a road trip without mega stuffed Oreos? Fruit Loops, I'll just put in plastic bags, Ziploc bags for the girls. Mostly Rosie, but Annie can break them up really small, and she really enjoys Fruit Loops lately. This I'm planning on making into some yummy trail mix. So there's M&Ms, marshmallows, pretzel sticks, and cinnamon toast crunch. And then with these, I'm going to make some crack dip. I think it's cracked chicken dip. I don't know. Crack dip pinwheels. So I'll put those in tortilla wraps with some chicken and other things. And those will be some light snacks for us that have a little bit of protein in them. This is freeze-dried strawberry fruit crisps and yogurt melts for baby snacks. Got us some coffee. That's our very favorite kind. Always has been since we got married. And some backup juice in case we run out of the homemade stuff, which we probably will. Got some cream cheese and blueberries because I want to make some, I don't quite know how to pronounce it, but it's blueberry cream cheese babka or babka, something like that. It's, I think, Jewish. It's a Jewish thing. So I've made one before. It's like PB&J, and it was good, but it was a little bit dry. I should have put more of the PB&J inside of the breading. So hopefully this will turn out well. I'm doubling the cream cheese in hopes that it'll be really tasty. It just might be messy in the baking process. And then I got some of the very best chicken salad. I love this kind with, I don't know if that's in focus or not. I love this kind with the cranberries and pecans, and then some club crackers for that. And then I'm going to do some homemade pizzas one night while we're there. We can just stay in the room, and I'll just take flour and yeast and the things that are needed for that. So hopefully we won't be too much all over the place, and we can kind of hone in on just spending time together and enjoying the beach, and then just doing like some fun things here and there. But especially with little ones, it's hard to go out to restaurants, as I'm sure a lot of people know, but you know, that's kind of like our one. What you did? Okay, you want to eat some more? But that's kind of like, if we go out to a restaurant, that's like our one and done for the afternoon, for the evening, whatever time it is that we go out. Yeah, we're gonna get it. So hopefully having a more streamlined process for food will allow us to have more room for fun. And I know that just sounded so cheesy, but it's the truth of it. So we've already broken into the snacks, but I did also forget that I would like to make banana bread donuts. So I never throw away a banana. We usually don't finish them before they start to go wayside.
Stop it.
Man. But we keep them in the freezer, and then I just bring them out to thaw. So I'm hoping to make some banana bread donuts as well, and just glaze them in, I think it's like cream cheese icing. Something simple but delicious. We need a wipe for this one. We gotta get her feeling better. We're almost there. We've almost made it. It is Wednesday. We've made it through the school days, and Granny has Rosie right now at her house for a little bit. We just got home. Annie's in her room, hopefully going to take a good long nap. And so I'm not going to chat a lot. I'm not going to explain a lot of what I'm making. I'll show you some as we go, but I'm just about to like hopefully get in a good groove, knock out everything that I want to have cooked and prepped, and as far as food goes, and then finish packing some stuff. Exciting things, reasons to rejoice, right? So there's a lot of reasons to rejoice every day, but it's helpful whenever, we talk about these things. We remind our hearts of reasons to be thankful. That's what I have to do anyways. So we are actually going to borrow a family member's truck. Praise the Lord, that has a back seat, can hold the car seats, and then they're just so gracious in letting us borrow it. And then we're going to put all of our stuff in like storage totes in the back. So my mom is bringing some of her extra storage totes tonight that we can put our stuff in, and I just feel so much better about having a place for everything that we need to take with us, and then also just being able to ride comfortably, and it just takes off a lot of stress. So Nicholas is picking up the truck on his way home from work tonight, I believe, and then my mom's bringing the totes tonight as well. So really everything's coming together, hallelujah, and we'll be leaving out like middle of the night, 4 a.m., somewhere around there. And yeah, I'm getting excited. I feel like the end is in sight, and once we get like in the car on the road, as long as the girls are still sleeping, then I am just going to crash. I'm going to crash. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to all that's to come, the memories that are going to be made, and I'm just very excited for this next little bit of downtime, quiet time, so that I can just get in the kitchen and do my thing. So it's 10:30 on Wednesday night, and we have the truck loaded, the coffee prepped and programmed, ready for us, dishes washed, kitchen mostly cleaned, and yeah, girls are asleep. We're gonna try and get showers and then a few hours of rest before we hit the road, because 4 a.m. is coming soon. But we are so excited to make some memories with our family and with our girls, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for coming along for some crunchy cooking and vacation prep. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you're at. Stay tuned for a little, not necessarily vlog, but short memory style video of our vacation that should be posting a few days after this one. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye guys.